What's up? We gonna be murder hobos tonight? You know I'm down. What's up? What's up?
Hey, not
I
much.
think Muff's away right now. What's up?
Hello?
Hey, can you guys hear me okay? Because my mic's been kind of going in and out lately.
I can hear you there.
Alrighty, cool.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Okay, perfect. Sorry, I'm here.
it's alright. I'm gonna go poke Zard now. I'll be back.
Uh, anyway, okay. So, just waiting on Zard to join in the chat. I was working on some prep. I guess I had my mic muted.
I've done worse.
So we left you guys off at the Blue Waters Inn.
One time I was going to take a piss, and luckily I noticed it right before it all the way happened. But my Roll20 refreshed while I was taking a piss, and I have a laptop, so I carry it around with me.
Oh.
I normally just turn my camera off, and then I noticed it refreshing. I was like, "Oh shit!" I got the camera and flipped the laptop around real quick. I was like, "Oh shit!"
So I don't think this worked. I tried to add some music on these things, but it doesn't sound like that one's working. I did turn it way down too, though, so that might be the thing. Anyway, we'll see how it goes from here. But yeah. So before we super get into it, I wanted to. So you guys ended up taking a long rest at the Blue Waters Inn, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think
So you guys had just spoken to Ernest about meeting up with Lady Watchter and all that jazz. You guys also, yeah, and you guys totally got some cool treasure from Rictavio / Rudolph Van Richten, and So, Elisabeta, you got this pretty cool case full of stuff.
I think he's off getting food still.
Oh, okay. I'll wait for him to get back then. Is it working? Sweet. That's what I was hoping for. Okay. It's not working on mine. But gotcha. You got us a full party now. I say now. I mean, you guys still got to go meet up with them, but soon. Okay. So, Elisabetta, you got that cool little case of treasure from Van Richten. Did you spend any time during your long rest here looking through that stuff? Correct. Yes. Perfect. Okay, so yeah, you open that up and you look inside, and there's two rolled up pieces of paper inside this tube. You can roll an Arcana check. Yeah, they pretty much just look like, some paper. There's definitely some writing on it. You can't make out what it means, but there definitely is something on there. Okay. And yeah, so yeah, you guys make sure you completed a long rest on your character sheets, and you guys wake up this morning, and when you go downstairs, make sure I got all y'all's tokens on there. Missing Borken. There's Borken. So as you guys wake up this morning and go downstairs, this is the first time you've seen the Blue Waters Inn this empty. There's like nobody here. The Urwin's standing behind the bar there, just to make sure everything's running.
I was supposed to that chick.
Yeah, it's really early in the morning right now. You guys definitely woke up early, but yeah, it's completely void of people right now.
This is the day of the thing, right?
That's correct. So yeah. Oh, you're good. Yeah, I mean, you guys wake up, go downstairs. Everyone's standing behind the bar. What do you guys do?
I kind of just want to be like, all right, morning, Urwin. I'm headed off. I go to
Okay. He says, "Have fun at the festival." As you're leaving out the door, and yeah. So you guys remember Ernest telling you guys that uh, you were invited to the Watchterhaus for the meeting. Um, and you guys travel down the road here. I couldn't find a very good picture of this one, but yeah, you guys walk up to this old, it's very, it's a very large, nice mansion. It's just a little older. As you guys walk up, there's two staircases leading up to the main doorway. You guys are right here. Nope, it doesn't seem to be any guards. It's just, I mean, you passed a few in town. There's, guards about, but once you guys approached this area, there was about nothing here. Seems very quiet here compared to the rest of Valaki. The rest has been kind of a little bit bustling compared to other places in Barovia, but this place is pretty quiet.
People are just in this area.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like people really visit this section of town very much. Seems to be kind of like an older section, maybe. People don't really go there for anything.
For your lead. Let me know.
So we're just standing out of this house.
That's correct.
We were invited.
That is correct.
All right. Let's knock on the door.
All right. So as you approach the house, this house seems disgusted with itself. The slouching roof hangs heavy over furrowed gables, and moss-covered walls sag and bulge under the weight of the vegetation. As you study the house's sullen countenance, you hear the edifice actually groan. Only then do you realize the extent to which the house hates what it has become. Uh, as you go up and knock on the door, um, you see a little small window that's cut into the door at about eye height, and it opens up, and someone peeks their eye through and says, uh, "Says, what are you doing here?"
Boy, down here.
He says, "Ah, who goes there?"
It is Borken. I was told to have a meeting with the lady.
He says, "Ah, very well. And these are your friends?"
Yes, these are my companions.
As you say that, she slaps the door little thing closed, and you just start hearing locks unlocking on the other side. Um, move this doorway. So what's here? Yeah, as the door opens up, you see a young lady dressed in like maid's attire. She opens the door and says, "Come in. The lady watched is waiting." And she ushers you up the staircase. So as soon as you open the front door, it opens into a narrow vestibule, and three glass-stained doors and wooden frames lead from it. Uh, Immediately past the little entryway, there is a wood staircase that leads up to a balcony. At the foot of the stairs is a landing with three stained glass doors and wooden frames. She leads you guys up.
trip her laughing right up the stairs.
No, Fuzzball, don't do that.
She leads you through one of the stained glass doors into a kitchen area, and yeah, so you see this large table in the middle of the room. Right next to it, there's a fireplace and some a seating area around. It looks like some kind of like waiting room type of thing, or living room, I guess. Uh, and inside the kitchen, the only thing you see other than the table is just two large barrels of wine. And there's a lady sitting in the little living room area on one of the seats. She says, "Why, hello. Please have a seat." And the servant kind of nods at her and walks away back through the stained glass door she led you through.
I sit right across from her.
Okay.
All right, hello there. Ernest sent us, but first before that was some lady I saw get in a cage, and I just found out they're going to be killing all the people in the cages for not being happy or whatnot. And it's not cool at all.
She says, yes, you are speaking of the Wolfhead Jamboree, I assume?
Yes, and I assume that's the killing starts soon, and I figured if we could initiate a quick change in leadership or something, or if there's any way you can.
She says, well, quick might be a little far-fetched, but uh, I do believe that there is a change in order. She says, so why exactly do you want, the Baron to be dethroned, so to speak?
Oh, it's because he's a fucking pussy.
He says, well, yes, I'm glad you've seen that very quickly. Yes, the Baron and his old ways. I don't know why he ever thought that would work in the first place. So,
So what's going on with the demon army guy?
oh, you must be speaking of Isek. He he's been around Vallaki for a long time. Uh, he got into a little bit of a mess when he was a young boy. He was attacked by wolves, and sorry to say, but his father was eaten, and the wolves almost got him too, but they ended up leaving the poor boy with only an arm missing. And
Yeah, but like, is he like a werewolf or something?
he says, that's a good question. I don't know how he got his arm, but he doesn't seem to be uh, he doesn't seem to be kin to the lycanthrope, so to speak. The phases of the moon and things like that don't seem to affect him. He's always kind of his ordinary self. She says
It's pretty dope.
I do try my best to stay away from the Baron and his associates. So we don't quite get along, she says. Uh with She says we'll have plenty of time to answer your questions. Just what brings you here to me of all people for this?
Well, I heard that you were trying to take over. figured that if you were trying to take over, trying to make him not be in charge, it seemed like a appropriate course of action.
Says very well. Well, says, I like to hear that. You think I could be a good leader here? She says, well.
Well, I have no idea, to be honest. We'd have to see that. If it didn't work out, then we just have to replace you too.
Says, I see. Well, says, I do think you would be quite impressed with the way I could change things around here. She said,
What would you do? Would you like 5 running?
she says, first off, I would stop the festival, of course. I mean, there's no need for innocent slaughter.
Well, that's good so far.
She says, maybe fix the place up a bit. There's like there's some old broken down buildings they need to get rid of,
You have this house. Totally could have fix that one to start up. Yeah, totally fix the place up.
Is I suppose so. This old thing, it's been here for years. It is after my husband passed, I just kind of let it go. So
Your relationship
to Strahd. She says, I don't know exactly. She says he doesn't seem but nothing more than an oppressive ruler. I mean, sure he could do better ruling the place, but he hasn't done me any harm, so I don't suppose I'm indifferent to him.
insight checker.
Sure, you can go ahead and roll it inside. Yeah, you see it. I mean, she seems to be telling her honest opinion.
Great shooter, guys.
Do inside as well.
Go ahead. She doesn't seem to be telling you the whole entire story, but she does seem. It's like she's telling the half truth. Yeah.
I believe her. Well said.
She's telling the truth. She's just leaving stuff out.
Yeah, exactly. She's just, yeah, pretty much like what you said, just kind of leaving some stuff out. But she is, she's not lying. That's for sure.
Can I persuade? I probably should try and tell us more. I have a +0 in persuasion because I'm not Tig right now. So instead of a +8. Yeah, so I don't know. If she can't take over right now, I don't know about out of character. She can take over if she wants to, but if this guy starts killing people in town, let's start killing people.
She says, "Yes, I understand." She says, "I mean, I do have a plan." Says, I don't know how quickly it would be, but there's I definitely have a plan. I just gotta find what that plan is. I know she has one somewhere. Oh, go ahead.
I have a note about Victor telling us about that people in the area. You can tell by their eyes
Yes.
if they have a soul or not.
Yes.
Does she have a soul?
I'd say with that insight check, she seems to have enough of a personality. As far as you can tell, she probably does.
I did too, but I also made me that we don't know about everyone else, but like for sure that girl husk, she was like crying and terrified and like trying to like run away and shit like that.
So Lady watched her. She says, she says, I do have a plan. She says the hardest step that I need taken care of is to take out Isek. Um, he's he's the Baron's henchman, as you know, and says he's the one standing in my way. He says if I can take out him, I can take care of the rest of the Vlakoviches. He says if you could take him out for me, then I suppose I could make quick work of the rest.
If he's doing killing people today, then probably be taking care of him today.
If that is
Shoot him a bunch of times with my arrows, and then if that doesn't work, hit him a bunch of times with my sword.
I don't know if you can do that now.
Alright, as long as this ends up with us saving them, you guys understand that that's the point of this. They're going to start killing people in the middle of town. I don't want that to happen.
I also don't want to die in the middle.
She says they do save the killing for the last bit of the ceremony. It is quite early, so if you get to it, I bet.
Okay, so we have all day to like drag these guys around, assassinate. Super dope.
Pretty much about. She tells you about sunset is when they start killing people.
Okay, that's fine. See, like I thought we were like it's like kill some people here in the morning, and then we're gonna get off the road. Kill some people for evening, kill some people like big finale at midnight or some shit like that. They're just saving everybody for the big finale. And we get time to start picking off.
Says no, dude. They make a whole thing out of it. It's a whole celebration.
Maybe what if that be? That is it.
She says, "Well, I have my own group of people that could infiltrate the Baron's house, and perhaps I could go and persuade the townsfolk that I'm the one that should be in charge. And if all goes well, I believe that will work."
I've heard that just the rest of
She says, "Ah, yes, that is correct." She says, "Long, long ago, when the Vlakovich family took over the town, um, uh, she just explains, the long ago when they took over the town, my family and the Watchtas and the Vlakovich were the two powerful families in the town. Uh, so we had a bit of a feud going on. We put it up to a vote in the town of who should be the rightful ruler, and as you can see, the Vlakovich family won, but I believe that the townsfolk were paid off by the Baron.
what might be different this
She says, "Well, me and my sons, we have spent quite a lot of time building relationships with the townsfolk, and I believe now that they would probably be on my side."
And if we do this right, then the Baron's gonna be dead anyways.
She says, "Yes, most likely they would. It's very possible that they do some bad things to him."
He has has murdered a lot of people in this town, I'm guessing.
She says, "Oh, you have no idea, sweetheart."
Hit him a few times for each one. Let's do this. Yes. Alright, what's the plan? Summon some more vampires. Where in this area of the city is populated? Miss Watchter.
Okay. She says, "Well, Ernest has told me about the recent incident with the coffin maker. I would assume, as word spread about that it is pretty quiet over there."
Maybe we say that they're in another building over there, and we lure them with us.
Heck,
Preferably not kill him inside, but like in the plaza or something. Shoot at him nicely.
that could work.
I think we want to kill him inside.
Fine, we'll kill him inside. I'll just try to shoot him from closely.
He's fine. Any watch to we could do at this plan. Is there any assurances that offer some protection? At least?
She says,
Four of us.
"Well, I suppose I could get my two dim-witted sons to go cause a distraction for you if you needed something like that." She says,
Something loud.
"So, see what I can do about that. When would you like the distraction to happen?"
I would say need some time to scout the location, find a good building, time to track down Isek, and get him there. I think we can get it done in 2 hours.
She says, "Well, I will tell you that everyone in town should be in the town square for the Jamboree," Isaac included. However, I don't know how you're going to pull him out of the festival, but if you manage to do that, I bet you have a pretty good chance of taking him out."
Oh, I think we've got a pretty simple plan.
Very well. Well, I will send Ernest to give word to my sons to make something happen.
I thank you. 2 hours time then.
2 hours. It is.
Alright, so let's you guys wanna head to the area first and build this whole thing in, or just do a repeat at the coffin shop? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I think it'd be too convenient if we did it somewhere that we've already been once. Less believable. Yeah. So yeah, let's find a neighboring building somewhere like across the square. Something that looks like a shop that's gonna be deserted for now. Something with a large open area somewhere so we can get some good shots.
Okay. So as you guys are leaving, she calls for her maid Dafit to show you the door. It leads you out, and with that, you guys are back into the streets of Valaki. You guys are over here. Yeah, I gave you guys the wrong location whenever I showed you the toy shop. That was my fault. um, Yeah, the toy shop was like, I think it was over here somewhere, something. I don't know. Anyway, yeah. uh, right. So, you guys make your way down to coffin maker shop area. This is where the toy shop was. Anyway.
I would also like to roll perception, stealth, so we can try to avoid things.
Sure, you can do that. Okay.
Not too wonderful. I'm just doing that so I want to walk ahead so I can like avoid like direct contact with any guards, so I can like just stay on around the houses and stuff so nobody sees us going to the spot first. I'm not going like too far ahead, just like, you know, like a couple buildings up ahead, pointing like direction, like still well within sight, and definitely within shooting and spell distance.
So, yeah, you guys make your way down to this area just fine. There's a couple times you've seen some guards walking by. You kind of halted the group and, got around without being noticed. You guys make
Because we're technically not supposed to be going down there.
correct. So, you travel around here, and you know this to be the coffin maker shop here. So you look around. So you guys are by the Isek stockyard where you guys had met Van Richten. This is a pretty open, kind of enclosed area on the edge of town. So that could be something.
Can I like run over to his shop and knock on it real quick?
Sure.
Hey, Rickton, it's us again. Probably should tell you something.
So the warehouse he had led you guys into to talk to him. As you knock on the door, nobody responds. It's just dead silence.
I tried to open the door.
Okay, yeah, you open the door and you are.
Okay, is this obviously his stuff in?
No, it was just a yeah, this was like a warehouse for the festival stuff. Most of this stuff is actually gone now. It's just built onto the map. But yeah, I would say all this stuff is pretty much gone now. It's probably in the town square where the festival is happening. But as you walk in, yeah, it's the same warehouse though. Less stuff and no Van Richten in here.
Is his wagon outside?
Yes, his wagon is still out there.
I think we should do it here. Ooh, long sight lines, got some cover in the back. We got an exit out the back on the other side.
All we have to do is sit of vampires attacked him. And
Yeah, I was gonna say, we'll just keep going with the vampire thing.
And I'll just bite him.
Oh my god, we have a vampire. Yeah, so we're perfectly fine. This is actually way better than we thought it was going to be able to play. It's getting better as we play it out. I have another idea, but I don't know how it affects me. Is there a way for a vampire to bite someone and them with them?
Yes. So the way you can roll a do an intelligence check, just a straight intelligence. Okay, so you're not exactly sure how it works, but you know that vampires can kind of choose who they want to be, not affected at all, turned into vampire spawn, or just a full-fledged vampire as well.
Alright, I look at Elisabeta. Alright, I got an idea. You're probably not going to like it. Bite me in the arm.
I don't think it would work that way. I'm not necessarily a vampire.
I know, but then you can make me not turn into a vampire, but it looks like I got bit by a vampire. Looks exactly like I got bit by a vampire, right? No, but I'm not affected.
I mean, there's a high chance that I can persuade him to come here.
Alright, we'll go with your plan. What was your plan? I was just gonna run up and be like, shit, the vampire's attacked again, and like show him my arm, be like, come on, we gotta go, hurry. Just run him back. But then you bring up a good point, like, what if just kill him? Yeah, I think Elisabeta is the only one with any type of persuasion skills. Yeah, that's true.
I feel like Fuzzball is positive.
They've never seen me with them, because we're always stealthing whenever one goes wrong.
Yeah, give it a shot.
He goes with me for the sneaky parties.
I will ask my ambit back, so he... Yeah, you guys want to ambush that warehouse, I can go get them.
Oh, I would like that. So so your guys' plan is to just have Hailee and Irina to wait, and then you guys are gonna go try to persuade Isek to come here.
Yeah, he's gonna go. Elisabeta's just gonna go Fuzzball to go try and convince him. As you're like running away, I said, "Jump over the entrance of the door. Trust me." Give you a thumbs up. I cast snare. It takes me 1 minute to do, but then it takes up 50 rope and it casts a trap 5-foot radius on the ground right at the entry of the door. So as soon as Isek comes through the door, he gets hit with snare, and he has to do a check.
Okay.
Get completely restrained.
So for Hailee and Irina, what are you guys like waiting inside of the building, or are you guys gonna be waiting like on the outside? Inside, okay. And then for Elisabeta and Fuzzball, so you guys are heading straight towards the town square, or?
Yep.
Okay.
I thought I have a crossbow, regular crossbow. Well, no, I gave her my other.
Yeah, you got the crossbow.
Yeah, because I got the crossbow. So crossbow.
Okay. So she has a crossbow now.
I gave her my long. No, I didn't. I gave her my crossbow.
Okay.
Is that a crossbow? Yeah, because I only have silver crossbow. So I gave her the crossbow.
Do you know if that was a light, a heavy, or a hand crossbow, by any chance? What? Okay.
Oh yeah, and I gave you the rest of the silver arrows. And I kept the 20.
All right.
How far away is the square from the building?
Okay, so you guys are right over here in this building. The town square is right over here. So, a little bit of ways, yeah.
More than 1 minute?
Oh yeah, probably definitely more than 1 minute. Okay. So, Elisabeta and Fuzzball, you guys head down the yeah, you guys head down the the road to the town square there.
Just watch. Nothing can go wrong. We need one dice roll. That's all we need.
So yes, you
You
guys.
guys remember the hands always work exactly how they got planned.
Exactly. Oh.
So yeah, you as you're approaching the town square, there's a whole lot of festivities going on. So on your left side down here, you can see several people walking around. It looks like some merchants are set up and they're selling, different things. There's a big, huge bonfire right in the middle of town. There is a little stage over in this area. People are just playing music right now, and you got people watching. Um, you notice that there's guards on like every corner of the town square here, and you can roll a perception check. So through the crowd, you can definitely make out Isek with his crazy arm. He's way back in the back over here. Another thing you do notice too is a something you haven't seen in Valaki yet. He looks like some kind of robot or something similar. Yes. He is standing over here enjoying the music. There you
Should go back to the
go. So yeah, you're in front of all these people, Elisabeta. What do you do here?
back. Bro, I'm busy.
Straight to Isaac. Okay. Okay. He says, "Oh, what do you want?"
Well, I come with bad news. Great.
Okay.
I wanted to come to you directly. I didn't want
That's very wise. Okay.
we believe we have a vampire spot. Their hideout.
Says, I see. Where did you see these vampires spawn?
It was in the warehouse district
Says
near a wagon of some sort.
the Elisabeta stockyard. Says, um, says, let me have a word with Mr. and Mrs. Elisabeta.
Is that the Baron?
No, those are the Vlahovic family. So he says, "Stay here," and he walks off into the crowd, and he goes over towards the bonfire. His guards follow him as well. He goes and speaks to a man and a woman, and they are just like kind of throwing their hands up. You can roll an insight check.
Okay. Also, when he turns his badge that walks away, But everyone's like, is he doing shit?
Yes, he does have his two guards with him like all the time.
So they're walking towards the.
Yes.
Okay, when that happens, I want to cast guidance on it.
Okay. Successfully happens, and
Right, insight.
yes.
Damn it! To save that 17.
So yeah, you can't really hear what they're saying. There's a whole lot of stuff going on here, but you do. It does seem like that Isaac probably brought something forward about that, and they have just absolutely no idea what what he's talking about. He uh, you do see them start to. They look like they're talking about something else now, and Isaac's face starts to be kind of concerned, and as that happens, he kind of makes his way back over towards you. And he ushers you over back into the corner where like no one can hear. He tells you to come with him down this way.
Wait, where we going?
Right down here.
Registered agent, sir.
Yeah. So for RC, you definitely as you're looking around, notice this commotion happening over here with the big guy. And Isaac tells you, Elisabeta, he says, I spoke to them, and they say there has been some suspicious activity around there. He says, so what exactly is going on?
Well, time is kind of the essence, but my two friends that were with me before, but they're watching over the house to make sure no one can escape. But I don't know what's going to happen. bring your drugs, come with me we can investigate together.
You can roll a persuasion check with advantage.
Yes.
I want to say while like oh, sorry.
I'm also gonna use guidance.
Okay. Okay. Very good. Okay.
18.
Okay. He says, very well. He says, I will follow you.
I want to say like while we were waiting, I like kicked in one of the doors, and the door that I kicked in was the one that I laid the trap in front of. Just like make it easier to like walk in that way to make it look like we couldn't wait any longer, and I just like fucking Leroy Jenkins my way in there after him. I'm like gonna like slash the other door a little bit like with my sword and make it look like shit's like been busted into. That way like we'll be inside already.
Okay. So setting up a whole scene. Gotcha.
Setting up the scenario so he doesn't like look at me. Oh yeah, nothing's going on here.
Gotcha. Okay.
Last time the doors were all scratched to shit and stuff like that, so I want to make it look like these have been. Yep, that would be so true.
Okay, she let's see. See what happens here. So you point at a spot on the door, and she says, "Okay," pulls up the crossbow and just nails that exact point, like right in the middle. And after her saying she hadn't really had any training before, it's very confusing because she just hit dead accurately on the door. Yeah, you can totally do that. Okay, yeah, she didn't seem to be lying, but that just seemed like a very lucky shot. Is what that was.
You see her look very surprised.
Yes, she has a very surprised look on her face as well.
One of those ones like, oh God, did you see that? Did you see that? Did you see that?
She says, did I do it good? I did. I didn't know I was this good with the crossbow, honestly. She seems very like confident now. She's ready to go. Uh, so Elisabeta and Fuzzball is following you. So did you guys want to just head straight back to where you came from? Yes.
Is there trouble, citizen?
Whoa.
Are you walking off after me? I was gonna ask if I saw the statue as an ass message about it.
Yeah, Isaac. He just looks kind of confused. He's like, I don't know. I haven't seen that there before.
My designation is R060C09. Most people call me RC. Nice to meet you, RC. My friends and I here have some business to attend to. I am a peacekeeper model. Is there trouble? nothing that we can handle, but you're welcome to tag along if it doesn't mind.
He looks very displeased, but he just kind of is like, go ahead, I guess.
Yeah, right this way there.
Okay. So, yeah, you guys all head back over.
Yes, please.
Hide behind the shelf that I'm counter that I'm behind right now until he gets stuck in my trap.
So just for warning, I am like 6'10". I'm easily probably somewhere in the 280 pounds. So.
Forged.
Warforged.
Nice.
I am like a great soldier. And you see a variety of weapons on me, actually. You see a crossbow on my back. You do see what looks like a pistol. Great. Holster. Thank you. And a backpack with a variety of gear.
How big is your snare? Is it 5 feet?
Yeah, it's 5 feet and it's on this side.
On this, okay.
Yeah, this side's the broken side, so it's like right there.
Oh, no, half feet. Alright.
Carefully.
I did.
A spider climb into the building.
Well, you look over your shoulder and hiss.
Yeah. I'm the vampire, bitch.
I killed my friends.
I have Misty Step as well.
So real quick, Hailee and Irina, I'll let where do you guys want to be placed in this before this happens? Because you guys would have had plenty of time to get where you're gonna go. Okay, where did you guys want Irina at?
The door, this so she can hightail it out the back if she needs to.
So like this doorway here, or like all the way in the back?
Yeah, so she can get some shots in too. Target practice, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But like leaned up behind it, like for cover, you know what I'm saying?
Gotcha. Okay, so she's gonna take some cover over here. Okay. So with that, RC's tagging along with Elisabeta, Fuzzball, and Isek. Is Elisabeta? How do you go about getting him to go in there? That is also a good point.
By the way, as you step up to the door, you see RC pull the pistol with his offhand. And then you see him reach down to his leg, and a couple of his leg plates actually part, and he reaches into the leg plates. And you see, half conjured, half pulled out of his leg, another pistol twice as big as the first one.
Isaac looks very impressed by you pulling out these magnificent looking weapons. He doesn't know what they are, but he's impressed.
I'm still hiding. I don't see anything.
I'm a bitch.
He looks at you up and down. He's like, he says, after the fight with the last vampires, you're telling me you're not up for it? Yes.
I did not know this character before. I apologize. I'll take care of that in just a second.
Okay.
Is this a demo door?
Yes, it is. And
The right side's kicked off.
you can roll a persuasion check as well as Elisabeta. Okay, you can roll that with advantage then.
Slightly better.
Okay, that'll work. He says, as he hears Hailee in the back yelling, he says, "Get out of the way, then!" And he pushes you out of the way. Guards are following right behind him, and he is the first one into the door. The guard's right behind.
Alright, he's got to roll a dex save of 11.
Dex save of 11.
As this happens, I'm going to turn back to this. Keep doing the next trick.
Okay, so you said that was 11. What was that kind of check?
Dex.
Dex, okay. He got a 21.
Son of a bitch. Okay, well then, as soon as I hear my trap go off, I want to pop up over the top and just let loose with a
Okay. So what we're going to do is everybody roll initiative, and I'm going to give Borken, Hailee, and Irina, you guys have surprise. And I would say Elisabeta and Fuzzball, you guys would have surprise too because you know what's going to happen. RC, I will give you.
surprise as everyone else.
Yeah, you are definitely surprised about what's going on right now. So with that, yes, I need everybody to roll initiative.
All you know is, okay, trust them. Bad people. And then just start going at it.
I then turn
16.
God, I'm dead.
It's all good. So 16, you said, and for Borken.
I can't let pull my dread in front of RC either.
Did you
I'm so evil.
did you want to roll for Fuzzball, Hailee, or did you want me to roll that for you? Or does Fuzzball go on your turn? Is that how that worked? Okay. Okay, I'll give. Very good. Okay, I will just put her as 16 as well. I had to think about how that worked last time. So, right. Okay, so with that, Fuzzball will have the first. Hailee and Fuzzball, you guys will have the first attack. Yes, he just stepped in the doorway. You see his guards closely behind him. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, and that's going for Isek, I assume. And that will hit. Okay. -9 damage. Alright. Okay. That's correct. Okay, so was that a 14 with the advantage, or okay? So that is going for the guard. You said. Okay, that's gonna miss. Okay. Anything else for you, Hailee or Fuzzball? Okay. That will trigger an attack of opportunity. Well, he hasn't. No, he hasn't had his turn yet. So yeah, you're right. Okay. Let me double check because I think that did go past his turn. Let me double check. Okay, that was the other guard, so you're good. So with that, Isek's gonna get skipped.
I didn't roll. Got it.
Okay. Just let me know what you get. I'll put it in there for you. Oh, you got it. You got it. I forget you don't use D&D Beyond. Yes. All right. So Borken, it'll be your turn.
I hop up on top of the counter and just fucking yell at him, "You fucking murderer!" And I hit him with use Slayer's Prey.
That one is concentration, right?
That one is not concentration.
Okay. Hunter's Mark, that one was concentration though, right?
Hunter's Mark and Favored Foe are both concentration.
Okay.
I will activate Sharpshooter, so I only get +3 on this.
Dude, that's gonna hit.
+3.
That'll hit.
That's +10 straight off the bat. So then there's Slayers, and I'm gonna activate Favored Foes. Wait, hold on. I don't know. No, I have Favored Foe. It's a different type of thing.
It's that Hunter's Mark. You have it too. Have it.
Yeah, and I can use Favored Foe also. So yeah, attach Favored Foe.
Is that a bonus action though?
It just says as soon as I make damage, I can activate it.
So that is.
So 10 straight off, so 25, 26 damage.
26. Very good. Isek, as you. Okay, as you let an arrow fly, it hits Isaac right in the chest, and he looks just completely confused about what's going on. as that arrow lands, you just see like anger in his eyes. He just like starts to go crazy now. And if that's all for you, Borken, it'll be Elisabeta now.
Okay. Turning back to she just as cool. How tall is the building?
It's a pretty tall building. Like I said, it's a warehouse, so it's probably about 15 feet or so.
I'm going to cast Bane.
Okay.
So then that's an EC 13.
Okay. Charisma. Okay. Isek fails.
Oh
This guard here does not fail. He nat 20 to his roll.
You like put a marker on him or something?
Yeah. Bane. I'll just do this one.
Perfect.
Are they feared?
That is an action.
Oh, Bane,
Uh,
got it.
I'm going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, and I'm going to go 15 feet at the side of
okay.
Strand.
Okay, I will say there is an awning right here over the doorway.
Oh, there's an awning on the door?
Yes.
That's fine for now.
Okay. All right, and is that it for you, Elisabeta?
Yes.
Okay. Now with that, this first guard will go. So could you put Bane into the chat for me? I'm not exactly sure what that does.
Yeah. Basically, it's a D4 on attack. It takes a rotation of D4.
Okay, gotcha. So for that, he will. As he lost you under the awning, like he just kind of disappeared, he's gonna step out from there and look up and see that you are definitely up on the wall. And with that, he is going to toss a spear at you.
Yep.
And that's a 10 to hit. That's probably gonna miss. All right. And then next will be Fuzzball and Hailee again. Okay. That is gonna miss. No, okay. Okay. I think she won't have tactics because Elisabeta moved away. Yes. Yeah. Go for it. Okay, 10 is gonna miss. Alrighty. Anything else for you guys? Okay, RC, you see this situation unfolding in front of you. What do you make of this situation?
All my long years of being a peacekeeper, no, wait, strike that. I just came. Nothing about it. But he told me to trust him, and I rolled some giggles.
Okay.
So at this point, I have no need to not believe him. vampires. So basically,
And Emily, you will pay for your treachery.
and I will shoot the man who's just the leader.
Okay.
I will not charge
Okay.
that -5 plus. It's fun, just big ass gun.
Very good.
And miss.
Okay, yeah, it's gonna miss on Isaac.
Well, action out.
Okay.
And miss again. You just hear this loud double lightning crack. Bang! Bang! Loud concussion.
Yeah.
Yes! So bad.
Everyone is definitely like, what is going on right now? So
You just hear Borken.
yes. So is that it for you, RC?
Unfortunately.
Okay. All right. Isaac is gonna go. See how much movement he got. Oh, that's disappointing. Okay. He's gonna take his full movement to sprint forward. Actually, he's gonna dash. Yeah, and he's gonna get right there, and that'll be it for him. Borken, it'll be your turn.
Alright, I just muttered myself, bitch. So as you see me drop my bow and pull out my swords, can I use my bonus action to pull out my second sword, or is that action?
I'll give it to you for a bonus action.
Okay, cool. I do that, and then I jump up on the counter and leap off the counter and try and just drop both swords right into his chest.
Okay.
This life would just been yeah.
5 hits.
Okay. So the second attack would be your bonus action. So you wouldn't have that since you pulled out both swords.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
but it,
I just have the first hit.
yeah. So it would have missed anyway. So with the 25, that will hit. You can roll damage for that one. 5 damage. Alrighty. And favorite foe. And Slayer's Prey. And he is bloodied right now. After that whale of attacks on him. That is correct, yes. So anything else for you, Borken?
I just yell in his face, kind of square around. I circle around him to give her a clear shot and give Irene a clear shot.
Okay.
Speaking of which, did Irina shoot at him at all?
She should have. I totally forgot to roll initiative for her. I just realized it. I'm just gonna go ahead and give her 2 attacks on her turn.
She was surprised too. She's
Yeah, she knows now what's going on. So at that, it'll actually. I'll just go to her turn. She's going to double down with her crossbow there. The first one, she lands it right in his chest again, right by your arrow. The second one, you just see an arrow fly across the room. She was shaking when she was loading the second one, and
the first one, less of the second one.
And then with that, she did some damage. Okay, and so next will be Elisabeta. Okay.
Down at him.
As the warlock does. Okay. All right, he is bloodied. That
is it.
All right. It'll be this guard's turn. He's gonna try to take out the pesky wolf. Um, 13 to hit for Fuzzball. Very good. All right. This other guard. This other guard has no weapon now, so he's going to unarmed strike at RC, I guess. Is how this goes.
Super solid. I like where it's at.
Okay. 12 to hit for you, RC.
12.
Yeah, that's it.
It takes off his armor.
All right. The guard punches and he's just like, ah! And with that, it'll be Hailee's and Fuzzball turn. All right. Yay! 18 will hit. Yep. All right. And for Fuzzball, ten is gonna miss on that one. All right, and then for RC, it's your turn.
I have sharpshooter, it doesn't matter. Seriously?
Oh, the 8's gonna miss on Isek.
Man, really?
Ooh,
That's a jam.
you can roll me a D100. All right, so with that, oh, that's a rough one. So you can go ahead and roll me a D4.
Roll it again?
A D4.
So
Okay, so as you it's kind of weird for a warforged. As you whip out that second pistol to take the attack, you just kind of like twist your arm, and you seem to have some kind of malfunction in your offhand.
So you see a screw pop out.
There you go. Yeah, screw pops out, and your offhand just is laying on the ground now.
Just some sparks. You're just like,
And yeah, so with that, did you have any movement, RC, that you want to take?
No, actually, that is not. Yeah, this guy next to him tried anything stupid. No, I did that.
Okay. With that, then it'll be Irina's turn. She's gonna step out and make a crossbow attack on Isek, and she is kind of zeroed in a little bit now, but the arrow just flies right past Isek into the wall. And next will be Isek's turn. And Isek, he is going to go for Borken. He is laying in the damage. Yeah, he's going to go in for a battle axe attack. That's an 11 to hit. He's probably going to miss. He's coming back for a second one, and that is a 25 to hit. All right.
I'd say minus D4, but it matters.
Yes. Okay. So that hits. Does it take off the damage as well, or just the attack roll?
Just the attack.
Okay. So that is 15 slashing damage for you, Borken. And
all right, that was a pretty good one, you bastard.
he says, "I can hit too." And with that, it'll be Borken's turn.
All right, you dirty bitch. I'll show you what it really feels like. Yeah, we're just gonna go in with two of them swing-a-dinglings, Swizzwords.
All right, 17 will hit. 19 will hit as well.
Alright, I just used Slayer's Prayer as my second sword strike.
So 16 total damage.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else for you, Borken?
Just kind of like try and kick him in the balls.
I would say you managed to do that pretty nicely with that attack.
Nice. Alright, cool. Yeah, then I call him a bitch again.
Okay.
And then, move on from there.
He just says, "Rah!" as he calls him a bitch. And Elisabeta, it'll be your turn. All right. Okay, 14 is going to miss on the guard.
Well, that's my turn.
Okay. This guard is going to go. He is just going to run away after that.
Wait, which one is
This guard next to RC. So you can make that attack of opportunity, RC. He is. Oh, he say he can't run?
No, he can.
Okay. Okay.
So I'd like to point this out. What you see is RC spins his gun that's jammed, puts it in his holster, and gives his arm a shake, and you see a dagger spring out. He's stabbing the guy.
Okay. That'll hit. 5. That is just enough to kill him.
Perfect. No witnesses.
All right, and And then this other guard is gonna go. He's going to spear Fuzzball. That's a 6 to hit. That's gonna probably miss. And Hailee and Fuzzball, it'll be your turn. He was looking pretty rough. He's definitely bloodied. All right. 15 is going to hit. All right.
Ooh, hell yeah.
So that's 13 in total, right? Okay. Yeah, he's not looking good. That'll hit. Ooh, max damage, nice. Yeah, that.
Doesn't he have to roll a strength save?
All right. The strength save, he got a 16. Okay. But he is definitely bloodied though now. That definitely hurt. Yeah, Fuzzball just jumps in and grabs onto his neck, and blood is just going. Wah! With that, RC, it'll be your turn. Ooh. Okay. You can go ahead and roll me another D100, RC. That's a lot better. Okay. So is this weapon attached to you at all? Yes. Okay. So that's the case. When you shoot it, it just like blows out of your hand and it just falls on the ground right beside you. All right. And then it'll be Irina's turn. It's okay. It'll come.
I'm just Borken's over there like, what are these fucking noises?
I mean, mind you, every shot I fired, you've seen it, like, hit a piece of furniture or a wall, blow a fucking hole in it. So you know it does damage if I hit.
For sure. So she shoots a crossbow bolt right by Isek's head this time, and it lands onto the table. He looked a little afraid on that one, and it'll be his turn now. And he's going for Borken again. It's an 11 to hit. It's probably going to miss. And a 9. And yeah, he's going to miss on both.
That's right, you dirty bitch. Now I'll show you how to do it. Full lunge.
Alright. Alright. It's gonna hit. That one's gonna miss. Eight. 11. 12. All right. And then that'll be Elisabeta.
Casually walk down here. Yeah, I'm just gonna open that one in front of them.
Okay. That'll hit. Barely hits. Ooh, that's gonna kill him.
15 feet. So I walk down 15 feet. So I stand right there.
Okay. Next will be Hailee and Fuzzball. That's gonna hit. So that's an 8. How do you take them out? All right. As that bolt flew past Isek, he looks up, and Irina, her cloak's kind of pulled back a little bit, and he sees her face, and you just see this, like, he was angry before, and he just goes to like confusion and sadness, and he's looking up at her, and he says, Irina, and then crossbow bolt or an arrow goes straight through his skull, and his eyes just go dead, and he falls back on the ground. And yeah, you guys took them all out. Good job.
Wasn't a good job now? Now you're making me doubt.
Twisted turns.
Okay, cool. Well, it's too late to go up now.
All right.
At no point, because we stopped using before we met Isek, right?
That's correct.
We stopped using the name well before that.
Yeah.
You did.
We use it like once, and then we so shit.
So he definitely knows who she is.
For sure.
Alright, well.
Yeah.
Past
So
tense.
which you know that leads.
I want to find the money, and also I'm going to ask, can I get some people, possibly?
Okay.
Oh, thank you so much.
Okay. So, okay, you guys can both roll investigation checks. Okay, so Hailee makes it to the body first. Yeah, Hailee makes it to the body first, and she starts to search Borken, you follow behind, and Hailee totally went past the battle axe that was laying on the ground. So, Borken, you have this magnificent looking battle axe. It's got like a wolf's head on one side of it and a vampire's head on the other side. And it's just this beautiful silver great axe.
It's a great axe.
Yes, or battle axe. Battle axe, sorry.
Does it have a name?
That's a good question. Let me double check. It doesn't. It does not have a name. Isaac probably had a name for it, but he is no more. So.
Alright, yeah, that's cool. Silvered though?
It's not silvered, but it's like a silver in color. Yeah. And then for Hailee, you are rummaging through his remains, and you find something curious. You find a doll that looks identical to Irina, similar to the one you've seen at Blinsky's Toys. And he's got it tucked away very tightly in his little pouch he's got. And then for Elisabeta, all you can find is on the guards. You find the one with his spear in his hand on the ground, and the other spear is lodged into the side of the building. Yeah. So you get 2 spears, and you guys find that. And yeah, so RC, do you have any questions for the group at this point?
Obviously, a quick note there, guys. We want to change. So, yeah, they killed a bunch of guys, but they seemed shady because they told me.
Fair enough. Okay.
Right, and complicated.
Right, well, they're killing people in town soon, and this guy is the one putting them in cages. See, not that complicated. I watched him put them in the cages.
We think we're doing the right thing to help people. Innocent incarceration of evil is against the law.
Well, yeah, the law is making people kill other people if they're not happy. That's fucked up, and I know it. So does it seem fair for you for them to execute people other than not smiling?
Or that should have been without that part. He didn't start reloading his gun.
I don't know, it's hard to.
That's for
So in the meantime, are you guys just gonna head over to the town square after this, or did you have another plan? Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna try and help her.
Okay.
I look at Irene and everyone fucking knows you. This is the weirdest shit ever. How do you not know how important?
She says, I don't know. I've never seen him before in my life until, we came across him.
Well, I think you're for the vampires. Kill them all. Sort them out.
This sounds like a good plan. She says, yes, I think that would be good for everyone. In the meantime, Hailee, you can roll a stealth check with advantage to see how well you hide the bodies.
you guys see my note, Jim?
Yes, I saw that.
That is ironic, is it not?
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, you managed to find some little under the tables on the walls. You find some loose boards in the floor, and you pull those up, and you throw some bodies in there. There's a few little spots you find around the room, so you're pretty confident that they're well hidden. Yes. Yeah.
I like thinking of them like a gun with pieces if you want to. Yeah, you're right. You're right. We can do that.
My designation is R060C09. RC. Friends call me Urwin. Come and villainy shall be eradicated.
Oh, yes, that's good.
I mean, honestly, he was just down.
I am a peacekeeper. It is my responsibility to ensure the safety of all citizens.
Well, we got some citizens that need some saving in the town square, but we might need to kill some guards in order to do the saving. How do you feel?
If they support a corrupt government, then they must be purified.
Perfect. I've got an idea, guys. We should try to drag or get to the burgomaster ourselves, or talk to this watcher lady and tell her that she can move forward with the plan immediately, or we're gonna have to cause a scene.
Yeah, it's probably about like 10 a.m., something around there. Yeah, for sure.
And we get a lot.
Amazing how effective somebody with a gas gun is.
All right. So, yeah, you. Okay, Fuzzball goes to town. She's just like, "Ah!" It's wagging her tail. Go ahead.
I would like to well, but I want to explain it
Okay.
myself,
Okay.
and I pour it over my face. I don't want.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm definitely.
Okay.
Well, everyone definitely saw me at Isek. They didn't see you guys.
That's true. Instead, I take my dog and I ride Fuzzball like a goddamn city. Yeah, she's doing like the whole like shake your head really violently while you try to bite the ball over and over thing while she's walking. And like the dogs do, like they're trying to like get a hold of the tennis ball real good, but might get it right.
Take whatever the fastest path.
Around, we don't want to get seen by guards. Remember, everybody has to be at this place right now.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely, Robert.
Okay. So you guys are going around the town square. Is that correct? Alrighty. And you guys are headed to the Wasserhaus again? Okay. So yeah, you guys can yeah, you guys make it back over to the Wasserhaus. It seems like as you're walking past the town square, like the roads that lead to the town square, you definitely hear all the commotion over there. It sounds like it's definitely starting to pick up now. It's getting into the day, so the people are all, joining together to take part in the festivities. And yeah, you guys stand outside the Washer House once again. With RC this time.
I want to eat one of my good berries before it spoils.
Okay.
They last 24 hours and I did that late in the evening. So it still has a little while. I just remembered I have 2 in my pocket. Everybody should have 2 of them. That's very true.
Smart ass came out. I can't help it.
So Borken, you're the only one that wasn't at full health, right?
You are correct. I did the thing where don't shoot, I instead stab.
Fair enough.
Julie, do the thing.
Okay, so yeah, you guys stand outside the Watcher House. What do you guys do?
I knock on the door.
Okay, the same maid comes up and answers the door. She says, "Oh, back already."
Yeah. You know the drill. Come on.
She leads you back into the seating area where Lady Waster still sits, staring at the fire. She says, "Oh, I hope you have good news." He says, "Oh,
Like walk up, like cut. It's like it went
RC
really
just
well.
stops in, takes one look there and goes, "Come with us, or there will be trouble."
she said."
Oh, she's
She says, I see you have made a friend. She said, you guys made quick work of it. I honestly didn't think you'd make it back.
speaking of which, kind of got fucked up a little bit.
She possibly does. Let me see.
RC walks over to you, puts you up and down, and in his hand, opposite of the one that you saw dagger come out, this small, it looks like a tiny miniature dagger, but it's too small. And it just reaches over, grasps your shoulder with it. You feel the small clink of it like stabbing you, and you feel that.
Oh, it's got like one of the like foam like injection ships.
I'm an artificer.
Like
so
like the Halo.
I can flavor how my spells work.
So for
Thank you. That brings me back.
RC, she does see that your one arm is a little screwy. I guess to say. She.
I did pick up the screw.
Yeah, she says, "Oh, honey, come here. Let me see that." She kind of rubs her hand over it, and she casts the mending spell on you, and it seems to be completely fine now.
That's my character literally pulled out a screwdriver.
She says, "Very well." She says, "Well, on to phase 2 of the plan." She says, "We should all meet in town square, not together." She's she says, "Just if it comes to a vote, just vote for me. That's all. The only other thing I need you to do." She says, "Yes, we better hurry. It's getting late." And she kind of ushers you guys out, and David, the maid, she comes back and ushers you out the door. She says, "Well, go along then." Then you guys stand back. You guys stand back outside of the house. Where do you guys go from here?
It's better to be owed a favor by a powerful person than someone that has nothing yet.
Yeah, I don't know if we need to get paid, but we should definitely.
Very well.
I say we blend into the crowd, kind of spread out a little bit.
Where you hear a squeak, which could be an eyebrow raising from Mercy, he's going to him.
Yeah, I guess except you stand out as much as you can. Which I guess just go walk in. Yeah, I'm gonna try and get to as close to the cages as I can. But like across the alley, I'll be like right here.
Okay.
this someone's balcony?
Yes, it is.
I totally want to try and figure out how to get there. Just like walk into their house and go up on the balcony.
Okay. So where did you want Irina to go? I guess following Elisabeta?
Her and Fuzzball. So, but yeah, if I want, I can walk up walls. So I would rather her be somewhere with Fuzzball. And you guys know I'm very dangerous, so it's not good for her to like around me because I'm gonna do something stupid.
Okay, and RC, where are you heading to in all this mess? Yes.
Right as day, big and small, brass balls just at his normal, stomp, stomp, stomp. Because let's face it, he is a shiny meat in the dark. He just stomps right with it.
Very well. Okay. So
Sentry mode activated. I am on patrol.
so for Hailee, Irina, and Fuzzball, as you guys are coming up a little alleyway in the southwest corner, you see Ernest. He's kind of hiding off in the little alleyway here, taking notes on what's going on, and he hasn't noticed you yet. Ernest almost throws his papers and pen around. Oh, oh, she scared me. So, what are you doing? She says, well, you know me, this is my job, just to take notes. As well, Miss Washer doesn't give me much of a break. Kind of keeps me busy. Says, well, you don't mind, I wouldn't like to be seen. uh, I suppose you're right. This is a second time. uh, so he kind of goes back to taking notes as he chuckles a bit, and Elisabeta.
He starts thinking to himself that like it's the wolf that comes on him because it's always with the wolf that one of us.
Yeah, he is 100% convinced that he wouldn't be able to do it without the wolf.
Hell you. Sorry, what? I know you're there.
He just kind of pets. He sits down and pets Fuzzball before going back to taking notes. Elisabetta, there's some townsfolk sitting around this bonfire, and they're sitting there talking back and forth to each other. You can roll a perception check. Yeah, so you they're kind of whispering to each other, like, or talking quietly, but you do pick up that they're talking about some kind of cult in town. And so you pick up the information that there is. Let me give it to you exactly. Um, okay, so yeah, you just kind of pick up information that there is a some kind of cult rumored to be uh, implemented into this town. Uh, Other than that, you hear that there is also a rumor that there is this mad mage that lives in Mount Baratok. which, according to your guys' map, you know to be north of Lake Zarovich. You hear them saying that one of the ladies says, "Yeah, I used to see him skulking along the north shore of Lake Zarovich, shooting lightning bolts into the water to kill fish." And they continue on with their small talk. For Borken, you can roll a.
Just walk up with a big smile. Hey, how you doing?
I was gonna say you can roll an acrobatics check for that. Yeah, so you find some. There's a tree sticking up, and then a crate by the tree, and you just parkour your way up onto the crates. You kind of reverse stripper dance up to the top of the balcony, and this person's like, "Oh, by the morning, lords, what did you do?" And he's
Hey,
they just look confused. And, I suppose all will be well. She kind of nervously leans back over to the edge of the balcony to watch what's happening, and she's also keeping a side eye on you. For
Better a side eye than a stink eye.
there you go. RC, you're standing right in the center of everything going on. There's a lot of commotion around you. You have a clear view of the stage, though, and as you're looking there, you see a short, pudgy man, step onto the stage with his two mastiffs, and there's a lady behind him. He kind of takes center stage, and he says, "Welcome everyone to the Wolfhead Jamboree." He says, "I hope everyone has having a great time with the festivities." He says, uh, "We will begin the ceremony at sundown." He says, "I hope everyone is having a great time and all will be well." And he starts to leave the stage. RC, you can roll a perception check too. All right. Yeah. So off into the corner here, you see he looks like a pissed off teenager. He's just like sitting over in the corner, like arms up, and he's just like this. But he's watching his this guy up on the stage, and he's kind of sitting back in a chair, and he's got his feet kicked up. And as the guy on the stage stops talking, he kind of slouchily stands up and starts to move over towards where they're going. They're all moving off over here. He follows suit. So yeah, what do you guys do?
I'm definitely gonna keep my eye on him.
Okay.
I'm gonna lean on my sabelos, looking at the stage,
Okay.
but like trying to listen to the stage.
Okay. Yeah, as you're listening, they just carry on about mundane little things like, how the kids doing, things like that. uh, RC and Borkin, is there anything you wanted to do right now?
must be unhappy. And did you guys know these people? Travelers?
She turns over to you. She's like, I can't believe someone else thinks the same way. She says, I thought everyone was just actually okay with everything.
I mean, but how could you be okay with this? You know what I'm saying? Like, it could be the worst thing that's ever happened. Like, to your whole life. It could be someone who they caught frowning one day. It just seems messed up. If only there was some way we could fix it. I just like I'm just spinning my bow on the ground, just talking to her, keeping an eye out, just like trying to keep up idle conversation so she doesn't kick me off.
Okay. I just side thought, I pictured Borken sitting there smoking like a joint or something. You know, man, like, this is not cool, dude.
If I had weed smelling herb on me, I definitely would.
She says, well,
Always makes me wish I played the ass of the yak.
but she says, yes, you're right. She says, someone needs to do something about this. This isn't right. She says, what is your name anyway?
My name is Borken. Hunter in the woods.
She says, Borken, you seem like strange, a bit strange, but kind fellow. She says, I hope things go well for you, and like you said, hopefully someone can stop this madness happening here in Vallaki.
Well, I hope so as well. If something does happen, you should just hide.
She looks confused. She says, okay, is there's something that I don't know about?
Life is one big mystery, honey.
He says, you must be some kind of philosopher.
I am what they would call a deep thinker. Probably the brightest man I know.
Oh dear.
He says, well, you do have a big head on those little shoulders, I will say.
I only owe it to grand fighter. Me, being such a small man, I had to, read stuff.
Yes, I
So
said.
so terrible.
So, yeah, as you guys. Oh, what's that?
Hard transition.
Yeah, you guys continued having your small talk, and as everything's kind of going on, pull this up. So during this event, from in the distance, out over all the commotion, you hear some man scream, just tiger! There's a tiger! And everyone just kind of stops what they're doing and looks over to the southeast, and the burgomaster, he turns around. He's kind of over by the stockades at this point, talking to the guard, and he just looks over quickly, and he says, Isek, where's Isek?
I kind of start to chuckle a little bit.
He says, lazy bastard, I'll do it myself. And he says, Victor.
My battle pet is here.
He says, Victor, come with me. Him and his two dogs, along with Victor, begin to head out with some guards as well.
I, the player, want very much to see this tiger.
That was the biggest part of the story. It's actually I kind of want to follow him and try and assassinate
Open to whatever you want to do right now.
Like I said, I, the player, very much want to tame this tiger. I want to have a tiger pet.
Okay, so what? We'll start with RC. What do you want to do in this situation right here?
I'm saying, I, the player, very much want this tiger as a pet.
So are you following the burgomaster to see where this supposed tiger is coming from?
God damn it, I am a piece. I guess I do.
Okay. Borken, what about you? What are you doing?
I'm going to link with Hailee. I have to move to here to do it, but I'll link with Hailee. Like, and in your head, you just hear me go, "Oi, I kind of want to follow him. I kind of want to kill him. Go for it."
Even though I don't want to. Like, we have a plan.
Well, this will make the vote easier. And that's Rictavio's tiger.
Follow it. Do anything unless we have to step in.
And then I hop down from up there. Do you want me to roll acrobatics?
I will just go off the first one. You make it down just fine. You do a little parkour to get off of there, and you see the town's the lady that you were talking to up on the balcony. She just gives you a little as
I like wink at her and I wave. Like, remember what I said.
This is very well. So yeah,
Try and get within range of that's 30 feet. So then you hear me in your head now, Elisabeta, as I like kind of come away a little bit, just walking casually, and then you hear the plan.
Can I respond to it?
yeah, sure.
Yeah, we can have a conversation.
I agreed to not show yet. See what's happening.
All right. Agreed then. Then I we go back, grab Irina, kill her also. Yeah.
Okay.
So then, we roll out.
Okay. Let me just set up this map really quick. I didn't expect things to go this far, honestly.
I'm just letting you know right now, I, the player, very much want to tame this tiger. Because if you have the Tosh guide to everything. Wait, no, that's not it. Is it Tosh's cauldron? Wait, hold on. Is it? Yeah. Right, anyway, the point is that in Tasha it has what's a henchman. And a henchman doesn't have to be a person, it can be a pet. It basically allows you to get a pet without having to be a beast master created for. But like I said, I, the player, very much want to tame this tiger.
I can talk to animals.
Fine, you tame the tiger. Hey, the tiger. Do it. Do it.
Oh, like I am super down. I have no idea how to do it.
It's easy. It's called you walk up and think of it like a very, very large cat. How would you make friends with a very, very large cat?
Not do tummy rubs.
Right, that's a good start. Also, offering food and showing it the proper amount of respect. Because, very large cats have very large attitudes. Because, little cats have large attitudes. You can imagine a larger cat would have an even larger attitude.
Yeah, I figure I do most of my gaming as a so I'd probably just do it the same way. I just normally have beast bond also, so it gives me a lot more time.
That's a good way to go with it. I've actually had non-druid characters non-spell me in order to tame something. I'm saying I, not me as in my game. I'm just saying I've seen.
Nothing can go wrong to try to tame Van Richten's pet.
I was about to say, that is Van Richten's pet, right?
The guy who has a book named after him.
I'm sorry, who?
That's the
Van
person.
Richten?
Van Richten wrote the Strahd book.
No. And he also wrote Van Richten's Guide to Evermont.
Yes,
That's about it.
Okay.
you met him.
I care not about this. I want to tame.
Okay.
I fucking want RC to be walking around with a yellow and black striped tiger going, justice shall prevail. Tiger. He agrees. This is an image I want to see.
And it would be really cool to just choose which one I have to ride.
Tiger.
Until eventually I run into a bear. So.
Oh dear. I mean, hey, we're a small party. We have to augment. Come on now.
The very own tank.
Why would it drop a link
No,
to you guys?
it's my halfling, so he would just be really happy that this giant thing to ride on. He's just like, oh my god, my very own tank. But I'm pretty sure that I have
So, RC, did you say you were going as well? Okay. So, yeah, you guys follow the sound of everything going on.
Oh, I love it even more.
Yeah, you guys make your way to the Isek stockyard where you guys previously were.
Oh shit, this is like this body is like.
Yes.
Okay, no.
Good thing I hit those bodies really well.
I dropped a link, by the way, in the Homer channel because I didn't know where else to put it. I have been using this thing religiously if I'm playing any kind of druid at all. So it's called the Practical Guide to Wild Chiefs. It tells you the good, the bonuses, the bad, the best, and the worst. Highly recommendable.
So, yeah. You guys had followed the burgomaster up here.
Nothing can go wrong. Will be perfect.
So as you guys are approaching the stockyard, you see the burgomaster and his guards are in front of him, spears at the ready, and his dogs are barking at this giant armored saber-toothed tiger in the middle of this Isek stockyard.
I love it.
And then
I love it so much.
on the ground, you see a few dead bodies around, and you see in the front two drunken and afraid gentlemen you've met before in the Blue Waters Inn that were self-proclaimed werewolf hunters. They look like they are trying very hard to get away, and there's several guards behind him at the ready to take out this tiger. And Baron says, "What are you doing, fools? Stop it! Stop it now!" And the saber-toothed tiger just begins to slowly come up to the two gentlemen in the front. It looks like he's about to attack.
Okay. Double dash.
Double dash.
But when it's the crow flies, I can get there. But assuming that you just put us on the map,
Yeah, that'll. I mean, that's about where you guys are at. So. Okay.
My guns are not out. My hands are up. And in one of my hands, I have rations, which is dried meats.
Okay.
I told you I want this tiger. I want this so much.
It can happen if you want.
I
know the ranger and the druid would probably be the better bet for this, but you never know. I might roll that 20. So yeah.
So yes, back to here. So you're trying to feed this saber-toothed tiger these rations, I take it?
Yep.
Okay.
I've got one hand back, trying to get them to like back off and go away and put the weapons down. I can do that with one hand motion, you know, wave down to put the weapons down and do shoot to back up.
Okay. And you can roll a animal handling check.
Alrighty. Oh, not proficient. I only have a +1. This is great. This is gonna go great. Well, I should be happy that it was not a Will Wheaton one.
So yeah, you there you go. So the tiger looks very angry, but he sees the food in your hand and he kind of approaches towards you and snaps it out of your hand really quick. The two gentlemen off to your sides just run back behind the guards, and yeah, the tiger munches down on this ration, and as that happens, he you can tell you definitely made an impact on him because he, instead of jumping straight over you, he kind of goes around and starts to run out the Stargazer. So yeah, what about everybody else? What do you guys do?
I'm trying to figure out my speak with This just says it here next to it, since I can click it. So yeah, I'm just gonna click that and see if it takes a spell slot. It does not. Yeah, because it says use, not cast. That's why it's like. So I get it. Yeah, once per long rest, I get to use it. So I use that here, and I'm just like, so when I speak with animals, can I make it so instead of making it so I understand the animal, can I make it so it understands me, so I can talk in saber-tooth so nobody else understands what I'm saying?
Can you put that into the chat for me? Let's see what.
Means drop a blurb. Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, no, because now I'll be able to understand the language of beasts, right?
Yes.
So I'll just speak in its mind.
Yes.
Because it says I can telepathically communicate with any creature that I can understand.
Yeah, I'd say you could do that. Just telepathically communicate.
I say, where's Rictavio? We need to know.
The tiger tells you that doesn't know where he's at, and it's needs to leave town.
Well, you can hang out with us.
He says, no, they'll kill me, and yeah, it's trying to leave for sure.
How can I find you?
He says, Van Richten will know where I'm at.
How can I find him?
Yeah, he says, I don't know. He will find me.
Okay. We'll see you later then.
Okay, and the tiger just begins to continue to run out of town.
None of the barons. The baron told him to stop, right?
Yeah, he told the guards to like stop the tiger from getting out.
Oh,
Yeah.
don't do that. No.
I thought he was trying.
If we're not in initiative, my character would have tiger the whole time, and just the entire time, he's just giving them the hand motion, like weapons down, back up.
Okay. Yeah. So you do that. The tiger is definitely like jumping around, trying to get out, like running. So I would say you're probably like kind of running behind him. But yeah, so that
I want it. Sorry, if you can't tell from the fact that one, I'm Kippy's roommate, and for another, I'm a cat person. I love cats. Me as a person, I would love nothing more than to have this as a pet.
It's gonna be a tough one.
I don't care. I'll find a way. Cat gnawing on my arm one day. What's he doing? Oh, he needed a chew toy. Why is he using your arm? It's fine. Okay.
I lost feeling in it hours ago.
So yeah, these see the you guys are chasing after the tiger, and it is just plowing through town, and it is okay. So minus Elisabeta.
I wanted to watch the baron.
Okay.
That's kind of our mission, right?
Yes. Okay. So you're
Yeah. I didn't really want to chase after him. I just wanted to let him run
okay. Okay.
Well, I do have my other group ready to pay attention, so actually, Murphy is going to keep after the tiger. I'll let the Dungeon Master make rolls in the background to see how well Murphy can make friends with him, because that is my mission.
Okay. Yeah. Our Murphy is running his warforged heart out, chasing after this tiger out of town, and it just plows through the gates. Everyone else is back at the stockyards.
What about now? You see that little credit message? Don't worry, Murphy will return.
All right, is he out here, Zard?
I am for now.
Okay.
Thank you. Just fun. I'm going to work with voice modern. That was disappointing.
Okay, it's all good. Well, we'll see you later then, I guess.
But I will definitely with that. So,
Alrighty.
Hey man, have a good one.
So, yeah, you guys are standing over here by the burgomaster. There's no Tiger or Murphy now. The burgomaster says, "You fools! You let him get away." He says, "Where's Isek?" And the guards kind of look at each other and they're like, and he says, "By God, what am I gonna do with that useless piece of trash?" And he starts heading off towards the back towards the town square. And you guys are like, he's gonna walk straight through you guys. So he says, "Hello," and he just kind of angrily walks back over to the town square with everybody following him. uh, yeah.
I guess we go back, and I'm gonna try and climb right back up on that same balcony.
That's your friend, yeah.
Okay.
Hey, I'm bad. How you?
So Hailee, Arena, ORC, Elisabeta is going back. Borken's on the balcony. And he watched hers. Okay, as you guys are all approaching this time, someone has taken over the stage. Lady watched her stands up there. She says, "So, if you are with me, let's just put it to a vote then." And everyone's kind of looking a little bit nervously around. She says, All in favor for me as the new burgomaster. Please raise your hands." And obviously, this people in the stockades, they don't even know what's going on, but they're just like full hand in the air. And then you see a few hands through the crowd.
As I like climb back up, I say, like, "Oh, all right." I raise my hand.
She says, yeah, and then she raises her hand too. Okay, and Irina, she's looking around and she sees everybody else raising their hands. She's just like, and so there it looks.
I'll try and start a loud cheer, like, "For change! Yes, wonderful!"
Everybody's like, change. And the burgomaster steps up and he is like, "What the hell is going on here?" And lady watched her. She says, "Well, Vargas, it looks like you've been voted down." And he says, "This is nonsense. I am the burgomaster." He says, "Guards, get him." And the guards are kind of confused by what to do. Like they're all kind of looking at each other, and they just kind of start to run off towards the stage.
Towards her?
Yes, but
I'd like to lose at the burgomaster.
okay. So as so as that happens, two of the guards, they go to run and they're just grabbed by the shirt by these two gentlemen in the back here. The Baron. What kind of range you guys got on those? I know it's a long ways, but
600 and a sharpshooter.
Okay, so I'll say Borken. Let you go ahead first.
Sorry, which one's
And I player and favorite foe on that.
Yes, says Elisabeta. These are all guards here.
Actually, I'm not gonna.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I forgot to.
That is plenty enough to kill him. You send an arrow straight through his skull, and he falls back on the ground, and he is dead.
And I yell out, "Now, any more questions?"
The guards are like super confused now. They're just starting to dart at you guys, and everyone's like like everyone's kind of on the ground, and Lady Watcher kind of looks up and gives you a nod, Borkin.
Are these guys still going towards me?
Kind of like I like tap the lady in front of the shoulder, like that was a good one today.
Okay, so Elisabetta, yes, they're not going towards her anymore. They're going towards the rest of the party over here. And the lady you were talking to, Borkin, she nods her head and runs inside. And yeah, so Hailee, what about you? What do you do in this situation? This guy over here, he's looking pretty angry now. He was definitely hanging out with him, and the dogs that was with him are also very angry. Okay. So are you just like, are you actually shooting an arrow at him, or are you just, okay. Okay. You can go ahead and roll that. 14. Okay, that is going to hit. 5. Okay. And Elisabetta, what about you?
Yeah, it's so hard to tell who two
Yeah.
I'll hold. They're going towards the party. The area shots I'm at.
Yes.
They're going away from me. I'm going to just hold an Eldritch Blast until I see some aggression from these guys. Like if they try anything.
Okay, like towards you or towards the rest of the party?
To the party.
Okay.
So I'm just like a bystander, so I don't think they're doing anything to me.
Right. Okay. So yeah, you hold that. I'm gonna say we'll go ahead and roll initiative now, because there's gonna be an attack on you guys.
Oh, damn it! First, not you.
Oh shit, we didn't collect our arrows back after that fight?
You guys would have, yeah, you guys probably would have had plenty of time to do that. 17 for Borkin. What did you get, Hailee? 21. 21. And then initiative.
Regular arrow. I haven't even touched the silver ones yet.
Okay, I'm gonna put all these guys together.
Oh shit, I have been doing Slayers wrong. Wait, no. I've been doing Slayers right. It's a bonus action. It's I was looking for the other one. Never mind, I'm stumped. Yeah, favorite phone action. Okay, yeah, I've been doing it right. We get.
Okay, so with that, before the initiative order starts, this guy is going to make an attack on. Actually, he's going to disappear.
What, purple face motherfucker over here?
Yes.
That ain't fair. Oh shit. And he went first?
No. This guy, this was like what started the initiative. Probably should have done this first, but anyway. So, Hailee, it'll be your turn now. They're mastiffs. Yes. Oh, they're definitely acting aggressive.
Okay, I'm gonna throw an arrow.
Okay.
Well, they're asking how to put
Okay, that'll hit. That's gonna kill that one. And for Fuzzball. Okay. Okay, and Elisabeta, I'm gonna let you roll a perception check because you were right there seeing what was going on. So yeah, you definitely seen there was like some water in a trough over here and some grass. You've seen some footprints go off into the grass and through the trough of water.
Oh, the guy over here?
Yes.
Got it, okay. Did he try to dip?
You're not sure. He just kind of he definitely took off from where he was at. He's not in the same position anymore. You would be able to tell that that's about 10, 15, 20, 25, about 30 feet of movement right there, right off the edge of the the water trough there.
Take a shot at that guy.
Okay.
Okay. 18?
18 will hit.
Hell yeah.
2 damage.
All right. And anything else for you, Elisabeta? Okay. And Borken?
If I saw him hit him with that spell.
I would say probably not since you're so far away. It's kind of like off in a crowd of stuff going on.
Alright, sounds good. Alright. Nearest guard, Slayer's Mark, activating sharpshooter, and letting off the shot.
Okay.
20 to hit.
That will hit. Six piercing. Okay, he is bloodied.
21 damage.
21? Oh, he's dead. He's hella dead. Oh, shit.
Sharpshooter adds a flat plus 10 right at the beginning.
Yeah. This one is dead. All right. Anything else for you, Borken?
I'm gonna yell out, stand down. Just take the power change nicely. I don't want to kill you all.
Okay. They definitely seem like they debated it as they're running towards you.
Can I roll like an intimidation?
Yeah, you can do that. I'd say you got at least one to stand down. The one here in the back just kind of throws down his weapons and he's over it.
Got the long arrow range.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna.
He like did the math. He's like, not good.
Yeah. Anything else for you, Borken?
No, I'm gonna stay where I'm at. I'm in a great vantage point.
Okay. This commoner is inside right here. So, Hailee, you were the one that hit him with an arrow.
I think she was.
What's the range on this? 150 feet. Very good. Alrighty, so I need. Just gonna use one of these commoners as a token. Okay, so I'm gonna need Borken, Irina, Hailee, and Fuzzball to make a DC 14 deck save. Okay, so Borken, Irina, Hailee. See if Fuzzball saves. Oh, barely made it. Okay, so you guys all succeed. That is 12 fire damage. That's half of 24 for all of you. As a fireball just goes right by Borkin and kind of encompasses all of you.
I think I told that lady to go inside. That was really hard to explain.
Irina is not looking good at all. And he is no longer invisible. That came from right there. And with that, one of the guards is down. Say the Mastiff is running towards him. This guard's gonna run here. And yeah, it'll be Irina's turn. She can't really do a whole lot. Does she still have a good berry on her, you said?
Yeah, she does.
Okay, what does that do exactly? Because she's going to use that.
Heals 1 health, and it's mostly to, like, make sure that they don't get everybody up when they go down if everybody has a good berry in their pocket.
Gotcha, okay. She's going to save it then. Okay. And then with that, the two guys in the back here just start beating down these guards, and they are like, they managed to take them out. So with that, it will be Haley's turn. Okay. All right.
Nobody hurts Fuzzball. And I'm especially mad. Me and you are probably pretty okay. We're pretty pissed off at our 2 favorite people.
So a 18 will hit.
One's not a person.
11 total. Okay. Alrighty. And for Fuzzball. Nice. Okay.
She's been mostly guarding instead of like attacking.
Okay.
That's why I took ball out.
13. He is going to use shield. And that's not going to hit. Yes. Okay. It's Elisabeta. It'll be your turn. Okay. Yep, that's gonna miss.
That's it.
Okay. Borken.
All right. Slayers. Shot. With a bit of goodie.
That'll.
Does that hit over the shield?
Oh yeah, that'll do it. 10, 12.
Yeah, so just 12. I didn't do the -5 to hit.
Okay. He is definitely bloodied. Anything else for you, Borken?
I just kind of say, "You son of a bitch!"
Okay, yeah, it's his turn now. He's going to use his bonus action to Misty Step. Just give him 30. I think it's 30 feet with that. And then he is going to ice. Correct. He's gonna use let's do Ice Storm on Elisabeta.
Wait, he can't Misty Step and Ice Storm, can he?
Oh, he can't cast 2 spells. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, so he's gonna Firebolt. That's what he's gonna do. Didn't think about that. 14 to hit. It's probably gonna miss. You. Okay, that's 11 fire damage for you. I guess that would have been super OP, right? Nope, I'm out. I storm. Yeah, I was thinking. I was thinking, okay, I could Misty Step and then get away, and then I could use a spell, and I'm like, okay, yeah, that's not right. Anyway, okay, so that the Mastiff is just completely confused right now. These guards are gonna come up and spear at Hailee. It's a 5 to hit. That's not gonna do it. Irina, she's coming in. She's going to rapier this person. 19, that's gonna murder this guy. She is very angry too. She runs up behind this guard and just stabs him right in the chest and takes him down in one go. And Hailee, it'll be your turn again. All right. Okay, 11's gonna miss. For Fuzzball. Okay.
Do the pounds and shit.
Okay. Okay, that's gonna miss on that. Elisabeta.
He's the only enemy up, right?
Yep, that's it.
Alright, I'll just. I'll just.
Okay. He is not looking good, so. Ooh, that's gonna miss on that one.
I will favor the gun.
Okay. Okay.
So that'd be 15.
That'll do it.
9 damage.
Okay, how do you take him out?
What is my
Okay. What's that?
The guy who like whistled in the needle, like threw it on the truck. Yeah, got you. So it's just kind of like this quick little moment, just like really fast, just a little tiny thing right through his head, and a little tiny hole just falls to the ground.
So he is running towards you, and he just gets a pinhole of blood just starts dripping down his forehead as he goes down. Okay. All right. So yeah, that's all of them except the dog. I would just say the dog probably just runs away at that point.
I want to check this one out.
Okay.
I want to see the main guy.
So for Borken, you find a hefty sum of gold. I'd say you probably find at least 150 gold on this guy. Uh, okay. For Elisabeta, you find a spell book. No.
need to change my pad. That's double.
There's
Totally can too.
yeah. I'm gonna make a handout for this. I don't think cantrips go into a spell book, right?
No. Well, actually, I don't know.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, I didn't think you could.
There's spell book. The formatting on this is weird, but
Alright, then I want to walk directly over the beach and pop that lock.
okay. There's the spells in that, which you probably wouldn't know, but oh well. You can make a strength check or a dex or a sleight of hand check for that Borken to see if you can get that thing off of there. Also, that'll do it. Yeah, you run up and you finagle those locks off, and the people that are in there look very weak, but they're definitely trying their best to get out of there as quick as possible.
I yell out, like, somebody help them. Food, water, come on.
Yeah, let's say a couple commoners probably come up and help you out to take care of them. And Lady Watcher, everybody's kind of like looking up, like, oh, is it finally over with? You know? And Lady Watcher says, so it is then. I am the new burgomaster. She says, starting today, we will have new rules for the town. Says none of this hooey that the previous Baron, has put forth. Says there will be no more festivals and no more mandatory smiling. So that is just absurd. She says everyone is free to come and go as they please from this town. And she says, I will. Uh, she says, I will be taking over the Baron's residence, and everyone's just kind of confused. They don't really know what to make of the situation. They're kind of glad that the other guy's not in charge, but they're also kind of not sure about this one either. The two brothers are clapping in the corner as she's talking. So yeah, what do you guys do now? She starts to head off towards the burgomaster's mansion.
I want to go to the brothers.
Okay.
Like, you know what happened to Rictavio?
He says, Rictavio, I haven't seen him. The last time I seen him was at the inn a couple nights ago. So why do you need him for?
Why were you by Sipitude?
Oh, that damn thing! I didn't know that was in there. We were just messing around. I dared my brother Carl over there to tip it over, and when he did, the tiger just busted out of it. I almost pissed myself.
It's about this size.
Okay. So yeah, see what time it is. So yeah, is there anything else you guys wanted to do in town right now before, or do you guys want to do anything right now?
I want to talk to the lady.
Yeah, I was gonna say I want to talk to the lady for sure. Like before she heads off. Like, why is she taking his house? She don't need his house.
Okay.
She's got a house already.
Okay. So yeah, you guys approach Lady Washter. She's just coming off the stage, and she looks up and says, "You guys have just done such a wonderful job." She's like, "How could I ever thank you?"
We want the burgomaster's house.
She says, very well. She says, I was going to make it a town hall of sorts, but suppose if that's...
Okay, if you're gonna do that, then that's fine.
She says, how about I give you all a room in the house?
Perfect.
Guys. Yeah, you guys, I mean, she wouldn't have had it unless it was you guys allowed her to get the house, so it would be it would only make sense.
Well, I appreciate it. Good for us to have a place to stay.
She says, did you have something, Elisabeta?
Yeah. We we're likely going to be leaving town soon, and is there anything that maybe the town has that you can give us that could help us in our adventures?
She says, of course. What all do you need? Food, drink, supplies?
Yes.
Yes.
And also a way to anoint our weapons.
We can maybe more along the lines of magical.
She says, I'll tell you what. You guys are heading out in the morning, I take it? She says, I will put together a group where you guys can go get whatever you need from town before you head off tomorrow.
Perfect.
She says, I'll arrange to meet for them to meet you in the morning at the where you'll be staying tonight.
Call the upstairs room.
The mansion, I see. So yeah, she. I will say you guys did. I was gonna say you guys did tell Urwin that you were leaving today to take care of his little escapades.
Irina needs a break.
Okay. Okay, so did you guys just want to go ahead and take a long rest for now, or did you have any more questions for her?
So is she going to the mansion too?
She is gonna head back to her house if you guys are staying at the mansion.
I didn't want to ask the group. Should we ask her anything about Irina?
I was kind of wondering.
Like at some point we have to talk to somebody about her, right?
Yeah, and I figure she's probably the best bet that we've had so far. Like, we could, like, mention the name and see how she reacts, and then she reacts to everyone else like she knows who she is, but I don't know, maybe we don't say anything more, keep Irina back away from all times,
but if she knows who she is, then maybe, go sing.
She can give us more information, and she does kind of owe us more.
Yeah, that too. Yeah. Yeah, I'm down to do that.
Yeah, I'm down.
Okay. So you guys are asking her right now, or are you waiting until tomorrow to do that?
Yeah, someplace private too.
Yeah, we'll, like, go back over.
Okay. So for now, you guys gonna go up to the Burgomaster's mansion and take a long rest?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was about to say, I definitely want to search the place first, give it the old investigation.
Okay. I will say that she would have sent some guards to clear it out for you. Let's see. Okay.
I should have specified that we want all the stuff inside.
Yeah, that's what I figured. So,
yeah, then we can leave it for the maybe some magical shit, weapons, all kinds of stuff I can use in there.
so I guess she kind of gave you guys the mansion if you want it as your reward for helping her, and that is with everything in there if that's what you want to do. And if you guys choose to, you guys could even start the whole town hall thing that you wanted to do, if that's what you guys want.
I'll take the house.
Okay.
For sure. We need a base operation.
Yeah. Okay. So if that's the case, I'm just gonna to save time, tell you everything important you find in this mansion. You definitely have lots of food and drink here. So as you guys spend the rest of the day searching the house, some places to note. This is a three-story building here. I'm gonna just show you guys what. I'll just turn the dynamic lighting off of this one. That'll probably be easier. Can you guys see everything now?
I'm still on.
Whoop, forgot to move the tab. My fault. There we go. What about now? Okay. So, those are the three levels of the house. The attic is full of craziness. Some places to note is this room here has Isek on the door. This room is. Let's see what it says.
Kind of whisper right there. Well, I didn't like them. I was just saying owners of the place might come back, find the money, and be a really shitty way to start the day. And then it just compounds. You know, they're reaching back in the show, grab my face.
But tomorrow, not today. I'm done.
Oh yeah, I'm done today.
So, you guys definitely find nice portraits of the Vlahovic family all over the house. You find the northeast corner of the foyer is packed with fine cloaks, coats, and boots. The dining room, just lots of food and drink in there. The preparation room, you find a silverware set that is worth 150 gold points. If someone wants that.
I want to hold on to it. Probably keep it in the house for now, but we can probably melt that down and cover it.
For sure.
If we find like a blacksmith somewhere.
You find in the den. You find a mounted bear's head. Just looks kind of stands out with you guys being hunters and all.
I like it.
Find 2 barrels of fine wine called the Red Dragon Crush, which you guys have tasted.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah, that he needed. Yep.
It is. You could totally play that off.
Nailed it.
Me and you were both just like, oh shit, yeah, money.
Okay, so this is a room to note. This is Isek's bedroom. So I'll just read this thing. It says dolls. This room is full of pretty little dolls with powder white skin and auburn hair. Some of them dress beautifully, others plainly. Some of the dolls fill long bookshelves, and others are arranged in neat rows on wall-mounted shelves. Still others are piled atop a bed in a heavy wooden chest. What's most odd is that all of the dolls, apart from their clothing, look the same. They all look like Irina Koliana. Yes.
I want to stay here now. Weird.
This is just Isek's bedroom.
I like kind of nudge Irina. This room. Sorry, that was probably inappropriate.
Hailee just kind of shuts the door like, Irina, no. Any room but this.
And then you
The guys go, they're burning. Fucking thing.
I agree. Yes, we'll burn those, and then while they're burning, we'll bring the wine over to the inn real quick and get money for that, and then we'll come back here and pass the fuck out.
I will say, you guys notice that all the dolls have a small tag stitched onto their clothing. Says "Is no fun, is no Blinsky."
Oh yeah, we know. I was gonna say I was
Yeah.
I want him to stop.
This was the guy. This was his customer.
Yeah. You find a short sword in that room. The Baron's desk is 3 drawers stuffed with blank sheets of parchment, jars of ink, and writing quills. It also holds a thick book of tax records dating back to the times of the Baron's father, grandfather, and great grandfather. So I forgot. You guys searched the Baron. You would have found his 3 keys that unlock all the doors in the house, and a signet ring. There There's in the Baron's office. There's the Vlakovich book collection, which contains old leather-bound tomes on virtually every subject.
I immediately looked for books on them.
Okay.
I admit, guys, trying to take them all head on would have been really rough. That would spread them all out first, took them out one at a time, then killed them all at once.
I'd say you find a bestiary of vampires on there.
So,
Boo. You find a in the master bedroom. This is where the Baron and Baroness sleep at night. In the closet, you find a white bridal gown which belonged to the Baroness.
I bet you this thing's expensive as shit.
You see a very unique looking mirror mounted on the wall.
I want to take the mirror off, set it face down.
Okay, it is mounted on there very well. You can roll a strength check to try to get that off the wall.
I just hit it with my sword. I don't trust it.
You can.
Can I do an Arcana check on it?
Sure, you can.
Before I even touch it.
You guys. Okay, yeah. You can roll that. You can roll an Arcana check as well. Oh. Okay, so for Borken, oh man, you as you're looking at this thing, it kind of shimmers with this weird glow to it. It looks like it could be magical. There's a lot of rooms in this place. Sorry, guys. Okay.
Maybe we'll deal with that later. Yeah.
You just like gotta like pull on a little bit, like throw a sheet over it, and we'll deal with it later.
Yeah.
It's a magical mirror.
So in the attic room, look on the door. There's a small, nearly invisible glyph etched into a skull's forehead. Do you guys want to try to open that door?
Can I pull the signet ring out and try to like put that up to it or something?
You can sure try.
Alright, I'm going for it.
Okay, yeah, you put the signet ring up to it, and it doesn't seem to do anything.
Can I either Arcana or investigate that?
I was gonna say I want to do investigation also.
Sure, you can roll a
Question investigation.
I'd say that it would be. What are you trying to do to it exactly?
I just want to see like what is it I feel.
Okay. You can roll an Arcana check. It definitely looks magical. So yeah, that looks like you've heard of this glyph before. It's a glyph of warding.
Does it explode?
Elisabeta, you're pretty confident that something bad will happen. It's to keep people out.
Would I have any idea how to like get rid of it?
You would think that you would probably need some kind of wizard or sorcerer or something that is keen in the magical arts to would probably have to cast what's the
Like dispel magic?
yeah, dispel magic, that's the one I'm trying to think of. On the glyph.
Definitely cannot do
You know
that.
how it's triggered? That when we go past it, it triggers and then stuff, or is it something that I can like shoot with an arrow and activate, or can I maybe just activate it and then have Liz heal me up before I take a long rest?
That's my thoughts.
Sorry. I said Liz. I forgot Elisabeta also has two stuff.
I'm a fortified cleric. Divine soul sorcerer.
Yeah, do you have like mage hand or anything like that, maybe?
Well, have we leveled up?
I would say you guys probably gain a level after that, yeah.
Then yes, I would have mage hand.
Okay.
Because I'm taking telekinetic.
Okay, so if that's the case, you would open the door with the mage hand, and you would have taken 5 d8 of lightning damage, I think is what it was. Yeah, 5d8 lightning damage, but your mage hand takes it instead. Um, so there's a lot of stuff in this room, but you get the feeling that this Victor guy that was the wizard you guys fought, that was a very sick guy. He painted children standing in the corner of the rooms on the walls, and he dressed up dead skeletal cats as children as well.
Did he painted children?
Yes, on the walls. It also has some like his cat skeletons dressed up as well. You find sheets of parchment that are covered with elaborate diagrams of teleportation stuff. Find a half-finished wizard's robe. Dang, that's a lot. Oh, okay. Here's a better handout for that. So that spell book you found actually has more spells in it. Where did that go? There it is. Also has these spells in there as well. And I think that's about it.
Oh, there we go. I got it. Oh boy. But there's nothing else that was
I'd
just in the preview room.
no, nothing worth like that would help you in combat or things like that, like magic items or nothing. But
Like,
yeah, most of the stuff is just like living stuff like clothes and things like that. Um, there's definitely creepy shit going on with Victor's room, but I can go into more of that if you want. What it looks like. Uh, uh, yeah, most of it was like stuff you would have learned from Victor if he was still alive.
so yeah, we just
Yeah, pretty much. Um, yeah, but anyway, it's getting pretty close to time for Dottie's game, so I think we'll call it here for a night. You guys can do that level up and complete a long rest, and we'll pick it up here next week.
yeah. Alright, thank you much.
Yeah, all right, guys. Yeah, we'll see you next Wednesday.
Fucking sniper. Finally actually got to snipe people this time instead of just all sword stuff.
For sure, for sure. All right, guys. We'll see you next Wednesday.
Alright, I didn't know.